Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that might sound a little out there, but stick with me, because this science is fascinating. We're talking about imagination, creativity, and how these aren't just for kids, they are powerful tools for keeping our adult brains healthy, sharp, and resilient. Most of us think of imagination as something we leave behind in childhood. We trade in our imaginary friends and crayon masterpieces for spreadsheets and to-do lists. But what if I told you that by sidelining our creative impulses, we're actually neglecting a crucial aspect of our brain's health? It turns out that engaging your imagination is like taking your brain to the gym. Let's start with the brain itself. Our brain is incredibly dynamic, a quality scientists call neuroplasticity. This means it can change, adapt, and reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout our lives. For a long time, it was thought that the brain was pretty much set in stone once we reached adulthood. We now know that's not true. Every time you learn a new skill, form a new memory, or even just think a new thought, you're physically rewiring your brain. So, where does creativity fit in? When you engage in a creative activity, whether it's doodling on a notepad, brainstorming a new idea for a project, or even just daydreaming about your next vacation, you're activating a vast network across your brain. You're not just using the right brain, which is a common myth. You're using your prefrontal cortex for planning and decision-making, your temporal lobe for memory, your motor cortex if you're drawing or playing an instrument, and your parietal lobe for spatial awareness. This widespread brain activation strengthens the connections between different brain regions. Think of it like building a robust highway system inside your head. The more you use these creative pathways, the stronger and more efficient they become. This process actively reshapes the very structure of your brain, making it more flexible and interconnected. This brings us to our next point, cognitive resilience. This is your brain's ability to cope with challenges, resist age-related decline, and bounce back from setbacks. A brain with strong, diverse neural networks is a more resilient brain. Creative exercises are one of the best ways to build this resilience. When you're trying to solve a problem creatively, you're not just following a set formula. You're exploring possibilities, making connections between seemingly unrelated ideas, and thinking outside the box. This mental flexibility is a cornerstone of strong cognitive function. It strengthens your problem-solving skills, not just for artistic endeavors, but for everyday life challenges, too. Ever been stuck on a problem at work, walked away, and then had the solution pop into your head while you were doing something completely different? That's your creative brain network making connections in the background. And what about memory? Many creative activities, like storytelling or learning a new song, heavily rely on our memory systems. Recalling details, structuring a narrative, or memorizing a melody are all powerful workouts for your hippocampus, the brain region crucial for memory formation. Studies have shown that older adults who regularly participate in creative arts see significant improvements in their memory and attention. So, this idea that play and imagination are just for children is one of the biggest misconceptions about adult development. Creative play isn't frivolous. It's a fundamental part of maintaining our mental vitality. When children play, they're learning about the world, developing social skills, and building their cognitive abilities. As adults, we still need that. The pressures of adult life can often lead to stress and mental rigidity. We get stuck in routines, and our thinking can become very linear and narrow. Creative engagement breaks that cycle. It gives us a low-stakes environment to experiment, to fail without real-world consequences, and to experience joy and curiosity. This isn't just about feeling good, though that's a huge benefit. This process of playful exploration stimulates the release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with reward and motivation. It makes us feel engaged and alive, which in turn combats feelings of apathy and burnout. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, this all sounds nice, But where is the proof? Well, the scientific evidence is mounting. A significant study from the Mayo Clinic found that adults who engaged in artistic activities like painting, drawing, and sculpting in their midlife and late life had a 73% lower risk of developing mild cognitive impairment than those who didn't. Another study published in the journal Neurology showed that engaging in creative hobbies like quilting or pottery was linked to better memory and thinking skills at old age. Researchers used tools like fMRI scans to see the brain in action. When subjects are asked to perform creative tasks, like coming up with alternative uses for a common object, their scans light up in areas associated with what's called the default mode network. This is the network that's active when we're mind-wandering, daydreaming, or imagining the future. It's a critical network for self-awareness, memory consolidation, and creative thought. Consistently engaging this network through creative pursuits keeps it healthy and functional. So, the big question is, how do we integrate this into our busy adult lives? You don't need to quit your job and become a full-time painter, unless you want to, of course. It's about finding small, manageable ways to inject creativity into your routine. One of the easiest and most powerful techniques is storytelling. Try this. The next time you're telling a friend about your day, don't just list the events. Try to craft it into a mini story with a beginning, middle, and end. Use descriptive language. What did you see? What did you hear? How did it make you feel? This simple act of shaping your experiences into a narrative is a profound creative exercise. Drawing or doodling is another fantastic option. You don't have to be a great artist. Keep a notebook handy during meetings or while you write on the phone and just let your pen wander. Doodling has been shown to improve focus and memory recall because it keeps your brain just active enough to prevent it from completely zoning out, without distracting you from the main task. How about role play? No, I don't just mean for actors. Think about an upcoming difficult conversation. Instead of just worrying about it, try role-playing it in your head or even out loud. Imagine what the other person might say and how you could respond. This isn't just about rehearsal. That's an act of imagination that allows you to explore different outcomes and builds your social and emotional intelligence. You could also try learning a musical instrument, joining a creative writing group, taking a pottery class, or even just spending more time in nature and actively imagining the stories of the things you see. The key is to choose something you genuinely enjoy. The activity itself is less important than the mindset of curiosity and playfulness you bring to it. The goal isn't to produce a masterpiece. It's about the process. It's about giving your brain a different kind of workout, one that builds new connections, fosters flexibility, and injects a sense of wonder back into your life. By embracing your innate creativity, you're not just having fun, you're making a long-term investment in the health and vitality of your brain. You're building a mind that is more resilient, more adaptable, and better equipped to handle whatever life throws your way. So my challenge to you this week is to pick one small creative thing to try. Write a short poem, draw a picture of your pet, hum a new melody, or just let yourself daydream for 10 minutes without guilt. See how it feels. You might be surprised at the results. Thanks so much for watching today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on brain health and personal growth. Let me know in the comments what creative activity you're going to try. See you in the next one.